How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We're doing an exciting video today, which are my December picks for stocks that could 2x. Some of them are going to be 5x and some are going to be 10x. So again, this isn't like they are going to be 2xing in December necessarily, but I think that these are the companies right now that I could see going 2x over the next year, over the next couple months. Some of them are 5xers and some of them are 10xers. So I'm really excited about this list. A lot of these are ones I put money in myself. These are just my opinions, not financial advice. This is just coming from someone that has researched these stocks pretty extensively, and we've been doing really well recently. I mean, we've picked out some stocks that have gone up a lot. You can see NBAC we picked up, and the next day it went up 86%. We sold out of half of it at 86%. We've also talked about Apex. We were up about 30 to 40% in that. CIIC, we were up over 100%, sold off half and kept the other half. So we've been doing really well recently. Of course, past results aren't indicative of future results, so definitely do your own research too. But let's go through the stocks today, and I think that a lot of them have a lot of potential. I've done videos on almost every one of them in the past more extensively, but I want to give you my updated opinions on it. So if you guys like this, please leave a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Also, hit that subscribe button down there. I would really appreciate it. We're on the road to 40,000 subscribers. Really means a lot. Just a couple months ago, we were sitting around 1,000. So I really appreciate that. And if you want some free stocks through WeBull, definitely check out the link down below. If you deposit $100, you get some free stocks up to $1,600 on some of them. So you can get a share of Google, Facebook, really expensive shares there. I think I got a $140 share a couple weeks ago. And if you want to know exactly what I'm buying and what I'm selling, you can check out the link down below to Patreon. There you can join our Discord group. We're about 700 strong right now, and we're growing every day. So that would be awesome if you jumped in there. I really appreciate that. So the first stock up today is Lordstown Motors. So I have talked about a lot of stocks, so if I don't talk about the stock that you're interested in, please don't feel bad about it. I still hold a lot of stocks that aren't on this list, but the first one today is Ride Stock. So if you haven't heard about Lordstown Motors, they are a company that is working on an electric pickup truck called the Endurance. Now, they have over $2.5 billion worth of pre-orders. They sell really just to fleets, so they sell to commercial companies, and they have $2.5 billion in pre-orders, 50,000 units. A lot of these are large orders, so their average order size is 500. So they have about 100 orders averaging about 500 units. They still have to ramp up production, but if they have the first mover advantage, if they're able to get out their electric vehicle before a lot of the other electric vehicles come out, then I think that that could cause the stock to go up a lot. I mean, it's hard to value a lot of the stocks on this list today because valuations are kind of thrown out the door at the moment. It usually comes back to them, but with something like Lordstown Motors, they're sitting at a market cap of about $4 billion today. If they're able to just produce, $1 billion a year, I think that will cause the stock to go up double. That would put them at a price to sales ratio of about 8 or so. So I think that if they get up to that production, if they're able to do that down the road, that would be very significant. Again, that would be about 20,000 vehicles a year. Their plant right now is an old GM plant, and it ran hundreds of thousands of vehicles through there. So I think that's definitely possible. It's just a question of how soon and if they're actually able to do it. So that is the first stock up on the list today. The next one is in that similar space, and it's Workhorse. So Workhorse owns 10% of Lordstown Motors, but they are sitting at about $26 today. We bought them all the way up and down and up and down. We bought them at $15 a share. I think that's about our lowest buy-in price. They are up for the USPS contract, a huge contract. I won't stay too long on this one just because I know a lot of people have seen my videos on it, but it's a $6.3 billion contract. Right now, they're sitting around a market cap of about $3 billion. If they get a significant portion of this contract, I think it will send the stock price up pretty quickly because they have a lot of shorts. So it could definitely cause a short squeeze, which could send the stock up to $40, $50 within a few days, I think. Now, I am invested in this. This is one of my bigger holdings. It's a really risky play, but I think that has a lot of potential short term. The next stock is Virgin Galactic, and they're actually up 6% pre-market. I actually own them too, but they just got some news that they landed a new NASA contract. It was announced that Virgin Galactic was going to be able to provide integration services for payloads chosen by the agency's Flight Opportunities Program. They are a company that's highly volatile. I mean, for a company that's $6 billion, they can go up massively, they can drop massively, but you can see over the last month, it's been mostly up. We had this slight dip yesterday, but again, with the 6% up pre-market, I think it's going to go up. Now, they are, again, highly volatile, but they're near all-time highs, if not at all-time highs. But they're a company, if they're able to produce 1/10 of what they want to produce, they're going to go up double, triple, quadruple where they are now. Now, this is a company that's trying to commercialize spaceflight, so definitely keep it on your radar if that's something that you're interested in at all, because it has moved up a lot. We have a pretty good cost basis, I think around $21 or $22 on this one, so definitely check it out. The next company is Planet 13. So you can see here what the company does. I can't really read it off because of YouTube's rules, but they are a company that we've been buying into for a long time. So I actually heard about it from Jeremy from Financial Education. I bought in kind of as a joke almost, because whenever he talked about it, it was such a small stock that it would send the stock up. So I did a little test on my channel. I did videos where I would buy in as soon as he talked about it, and then it would go up. And then I'd buy in more next time he talked about it, and it would go up the next day. And these were moves of like 25% in a day just because Jeremy talked about it. But they have moved up a lot. I have a cost basis, I think, in the mid to high threes because I bought a lot when it was around 4. Now we're up a significant amount. And you can kind of see it's starting to get a little exponential. If we go on the 1 year, it's moved up a lot the last 6 months. There's some news that's been coming out this week. And again, we're getting to the 5X and the 10X stock in a second. The U.S. House of Representatives is scheduled to take up this legislation to legalize this federally and possibly end the federal MJ prohibition. So I've talked about this before. I like this company as they open up and as the nation legalizes this. We've talked about it in my Patreon group all week. So it is a really interesting opportunity for Planet 13. They're the world's largest dispensary. So definitely keep this one on your radar. The next company on the list is Pershing Square Tontine Holdings. I talked about it this weekend, and they are a company that is really exciting to me. They are a company that is a blank check company. They have not picked out the company that they're going to merge with yet, but they have raised the most amount of any SPAC ever, any blank check company ever. They are run by Bill Ackman, and because of his clout, because of what he's been able to do in the past, he's raised $4.5 billion. So a very big SPAC, and they are looking at mature unicorns, something with a high amount of cash flow, something that's predictable, hard to get into for other businesses. So I will be interested. I think this is another 2X stock, and I think this one's a little bit different because I could see this going 2X in the next month. Depending on what they get into, I could definitely see this blowing up and really going up to maybe $40, $50 a share pretty quickly because of the fact that there is a lot of hype behind it and for the fact that they do have a lot of cash. They're looking at some potential tech companies, so that might be something that they get into. So I am interested in this one. I put money into it just over the last few days, so definitely check this one out. Now, the last two stocks are the big growth stocks I see. Both are pretty speculative, but VGAC is the first one I bought just today. So I did a video on this yesterday. The head of VGAC is Richard Branson, which is also the head of SPCE, or he's at least the founder. They are a blank check company, so a SPAC, and they have not found their target yet. They don't know who they're going to acquire, but there are some whispers that they are going to get in the EV space. This is why I think this is a potential 5X stock. Now, there's pretty limited downside right now because it can really only fall to $10. So with these SPACs, if you don't like the company that they merge with, you can actually redeem your $10 per share. Now it's at $10.65 right now, so there's a limited downside, but there are some extra risks. For example, if they get sued, I believe that it can come out of there too, but that usually doesn't happen. Usually it stays above $10 a share, at least until after the merger happens, and you can start to see it move up a little bit the last few days. Again, I think that this is a company that if they get in the EV space, if they get into batteries or charging or anything like that, I think it will go up a lot. I think there will be a lot of hype around it. And then the last company on here that I think is a potential 10X stock is IPOB. So this company is looking at merging with Opendoor, which is a website online where you can buy and sell homes. Now, this is a pretty new concept to most people. Most people still like to see the place that they're buying, like to touch and feel it. But with this company, They are valued somewhere around $4 to $5 billion. Now, this was about their 2019 revenue. Obviously, this year has been a crazy year, so it's been difficult for IPOB to get through this. They have about $2.7 billion in revenue, not as many people moving really. But so far, they had about $4.7 billion worth of revenue last year, price to sales ratio of about 1. So they are looking at expanding to $50 billion a year in revenue. If they're able to do this, if they scale up to that point, I think that their margins will go up. Right now, their margin is pretty low. It's at 4 or 5%, but I think this will increase a little bit with most companies. That's usually what happens, especially tech companies. And at that point, they'll have more proof of concept. A lot more people will be willing to buy into this company, and that would make them, even if they're still at the same price to sales ratio, which I don't think they would be. I think that they would actually, go up because I think more people would be comfortable buying the stock. If they're still at a price to sales ratio of 1, that would put them at about a $50 billion valuation, which would mean that they would about 10x from where they are now. Now, I do have money in IPOB. I bought it recently. I think that has room to grow, but it could be a rocky ride with this company. You can see here, these SPACs can go up and down 40% in a few weeks. So if you buy any of these stocks, make sure that you are doing your due diligence. Make sure you feel comfortable with it. But I think these are some of the best companies with some of the highest growth potential. Again, some are riskier than others, such as Workhorse. It's just going to be whether they get the USPS contract. And some don't even have a company that they're merging with, like VGAC. And then some are just trying to grow. They're just trying to scale up. So definitely check these stocks out. Again, if you're going to look for a 2x, a 5x, a 10x, you're going to have to take a little bit of risk, right? So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you guys want the link down below to WeBull, definitely check that out to get those free stocks. It just deposit $100. Also, if you want to know exactly why I'm buying, why I'm selling, and you want to be able to ask other investors really good questions, you can check out the link down below to Patreon. And if you want to see a video that I did recently on a company that I plan on buying, definitely check out this video here. I really appreciate it. Thank you for hitting the like button, and I'll see you in this video.